We're here today to talk about our recent project that we had together. And Flo is from the agency Paze Studios. They are heavily involved in branding, making websites, animations. That stuff I love a lot. And we recently worked on their website, actually. Yeah, Flo, maybe you can just give us a couple impressions on what the project was about, what your goal was with this whole thing, and how we could help you if we actually solve the problem in the end. I'd be very interested to hear.
Sure. Yeah, so people might ask themselves the question why a digital agency that does websites has someone else help them with their website, but that happened very intentionally because we figured out that especially if you build if you build websites, if you build branding, if you make brand design, and all of these things join together, you have a very different perspective on these things when you're crafting your own website, your own web experience. And so we said to ourselves, after having several attempts and playing around with things, we knew that we have a specific vision for it in mind and that there are some things that we would like to do. But in the end, we figured we are having the wrong perspective on these things because it's our own brand, it's our own experience, and we're making things too technical here and there. And we have some design approach, of course, to everything, since we're crafting the screen design and everything ourselves. But we definitely needed someone to help us to bring it all together, to help bring our ideas, which are sometimes a little bit more complicated, especially when it comes to interaction, to all of the different elements that we have in there, and craft it into something that just works, that is a smooth experience that works across all different sorts of screen sizes and devices, that takes into account of all of these little gimmicky ideas that we have with animation and with little animated icons and all of these things that we love and that we want to see there. And that was part of the reason why we joined forces, I would say. And I think in the end, what we have now, and we'll hopefully launch it soon when we're done with our part as well, is a very cool digital web experience that does all the things that we wanted it to do, but we were struggling to get there because we had a different perspective on things. And also from a technical point of view, because I have a very technical point of view on things, I think it was very important to us that it is a very fluid, responsive design that works for all of these different sizes. And that was a very important thing to us, and that it doesn't at some point deteriorate the user experience, that you are able to see everything, that everything works, everything is presented in the way that we would like the user to see it. And that was very important to us, while still maintaining the design ideas that we have for it, while still being our brand, representing ourselves. And that was very important to us. And I think that it worked beautiful. And along the way, we also learned some more things that you helped us find out regarding how we should structure some of these things better, how we can improve the layout, the typography in some points. Because you have a ton of experience there. And I was very happy that we could, even improve things beyond what we initially expected. Now we are on the onset of launching everything. And after that, of course, we will still be adding a lot of content, and we'll add more animation and all of that. So I'm very sure that at some point we will record another of these videos, because you will help get with something and helped us further improve the experience. But up to this point, I would say we are having a great starting point for this website now, because it all came together nicely and was wrapped into a very nice present that we can then let go live and let our potential clients and partners experience it themselves.
Very cool. I think this was like the first time for me to get pulled into the finishing touches, so to say. Like, you had this brilliant screen design, of course, like also in parts, like refreshing your brand a little bit. I think there were elements in there that stuff will look different in the future. So that's something to look forward to as well. And generally, I was really wondering where I could contribute, because I saw websites that you built before, and I was a little intimidated, I have to say. I was like, "Ooh, can I actually help in this thing?" And I'm happy to hear that, that. I think the biggest value that we can always provide is that we have this bridge between this intricate weirdo space between where static designs in design tools like Figma or XD stop, because you're kind of just making an image, and then you have assets like animations, and that's in another place, and you kind of have to bring that together with coding stuff in HTML and CSS. Like, I think this is like it's a funny gray area that I always end up in somehow. And I'm happy to hear that I could contribute the bandwidth to bring this over the finish line in that sense, because I agree, like, working on your own stuff, if you're in a design agency, it's just so hard. Like, not to toot our own horn here, but it's really designer's fatigue that you can end up in, right? Like, you
Absolutely.
try to make it 100,000%, and by that you're always changing what nobody ever saw. So
Absolutely. You're getting to the point where you feel like, hey, we should be supposed to, be able to do this ourselves. And we're, as you mentioned, we have crafted a lot of websites and different web experiences, and we never had any issues there. But it comes
yes.
in completely different if you have to combine this with something that is very uniquely your own, and that are your services that you offer and the things that you're trying to communicate. We had a version of the website, and also of our previous current website, where we at some point did some, like, if you want to call it, user acceptance testing, or to find out what people think of it. And we quickly figured out that many of the things that they gave us as feedback were very obvious, and that they
Yeah.
are very, we figured out, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense, and why didn't we think of this before? And by that, we kind of learned that if you're an agency and you're doing your own website, you should definitely try to shift your perspective. And we kind of did that as well, in onboarding other people like you, for example, thankfully, that can provide this perspective, and work on these things with a different point of view. And that made the experience ultimately so much better than it was before, and gave us a better head start, I would say, into this new website project.
Awesome. Amazing. I'm happy that it turned out like that. Of course, always happy to jump in there as well. And just to return like some of the flowers, I was really excited to work on this, because like all of this interactive animation stuff that you're working on, that is absolutely beyond. I don't even know where to start making this sort of stuff. And it was very excited to make a website that would show off this sort of thing. So kudos on that one, and I'm excited to see the final product going live.
Me too. And we'll definitely be in touch for all of the things that follow up.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you, Flo, for your time,
Sure.
and see you on the next one.
See you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.